What's up? I'm Matt Guff, and these are the best ride park boards for the 2021 season. Park boards, these are the best ones. Cream of the crop. Creme de la creme. There's actually 3 decks that I picked. We've got the Kink, we've got the Machete, we've got the Burnout, and then we have a bonus board at the end for you guys, because it should probably be in there. If you're smart enough, you probably know what it is. We're gonna start out basically just saying, you know, park boards, what is it? Well, usually most park boards are true twin in shape, and that's what all of these boards are. You can ride them regular or switch, and they should feel the exact same. Some of these decks, though, will kind of feature different feels and flexes because they're kind of designed for different aspects of park riding. So I'll start out with this one. This is actually the Kink, designed by Jed Anderson, well, at least the graphic was. The Kink has been within the ride lineup for a really long time. It features a hybrid camber profile shape, so there's a lot of camber to this board. This is actually one of the best budget boards from Ride. It has a really good value and it has a lot of really great things to it. But the hybrid camber is mostly camber with a little bit of rocker, raising up the contact points so the board's a little less catchy. I really like camber profile shapes, like boards like the Kink, because they have, again, lots of pop. But this board does feature a little bit softer than average flex rating. It's probably the softest board out of all of the boards within this lineup. Now, it is ultra strong, of course. It does feature impact plates underneath where your bindings rest, and cleaved style edges, which are used actually 50% more steel. It's also really pliable, which is nice because it does feature a Biax style glass. Biax glass is really torquingly soft too, so you can manipulate the board. So if you locking in a press, you can kind of lift your opposite foot edge up a little bit so it doesn't catch into that rail. Another cool thing about the deck, of course, is the slime walls. Slime walls are basically polyurethane that helps to absorb impact, and it makes the ride just a little bit more damp. The Kink has been kind of like a really great go-to board for a lot of riders who want a cheap, really good, strong park board. The Kink is great. And then we're gonna move into another one. It's kind of cool because all of these park boards feature graphics that are kind of special. The next graphic board, or next deck, is actually the Machete, another deck that's kind of like a heritage piece within the ride lineup. It has a really wild graphic done by a guy named Trevor Andrews. He goes by Trouble Andrews, that's, I believe, his rapper name. And then he also has another name that he goes by called Gucci Ghost, where he actually designed some clothing for Gucci, which is kind of rad. Machete, though, a staple deck. It features a hybrid rocker profile shape. The camber section of this board is going to be a little bit smaller underneath and in between the feet, with larger rockered sections both on the nose and the tail. This is a board that you're not going to catch a lot of, but it does have a lot of poppiness to it. It still has really good quick energy right behind that back foot because of the slime rods and the carbon array 3. So there's additional carbon strands that run across the board, and then there's also slime rods within the core, which have been milled up, which is slime, or it's slime, got a bunch of slime in here. It's urethane sandwiched within carbon, both on the nose and the tail, in 2 different kind of, like, I believe, V-style sections. It does feature, yeah, a really catch-free ride, which is great, and a very strong, fast, I believe, centered style base. The next one, this is kind of like the ode to Ojo. This is the Burnout board, art by, of course, Cole Navin, who I believe just went pro. Portions of the proceeds of this deck go to the Dylan Ojo Foundation, which helps get kids out on the snow. The Burnout, this is a hard charging deck. Again, true twin board. It has a hybrid camber profile shape similar to what you find in the Kink. Most of the board is camber with a little bit of rocker lifting up those contact points. The nose and tail shapes are very, like, kind of blocked off and extremely flat. I like that they don't really extend very far out or very high up. The Burnout really has a kind of this old school, like, early 90s, mid 90s style of shape that I've always really enjoyed, because that's when I kind of got into snowboarding. But the deck's going to be quite a bit stiffer and more reactive than the boards that you'll find in, or the Kink, and of course the Machete. But surprisingly enough, it's not going to be too rigid in the middle of the board. Most of the carbon that's found in the Burnout is actually going to be in the nose and the tail and underneath each foot. There's carbon array 5, there's carbon slime walls, carbon within the sidewalls, of course, to give the board just a little bit extra pop. Another great thing about the Ride Burnout, though, is the side cut. It kind of has like this really unique shape where On the nose and the tail of the board, it's as if the edges are a little bit more like kind of like parallel to each other. So when you put it on an edge, just a slight edge, it tends to track straight instead of carving a lot. So if you're like setting up for a jump, you're setting up for a jib, if you set it on edge to, you know, kind of set your approach, it's not gonna like veer you off and make you kind of like go off early or initiate the trick too soon. That's a really nice thing. But in between the bindings, it has a little bit tighter of a side cut radius, so you can still be nice, poppy, and aggressive if you just take this thing out of the park. This is a really great deck, really awesome base, of course. I believe centered base, and these are the chains that Dylan Ocho, I believe, used to wear. This is the Burnout. So those were the three kind of main decks: the Kink, the Machete, the Burnout. The Kink is the softest, Machete right in the middle, the Burnout like the most aggressive of the ones. This is a really great jumper. But of course, I also have to add in, as a bonus, the Twinpig. It's part of the Pig Style series, which features this board, the War Pig, the Super Pig, and of course, the Mountain Pig. This is a volume shift style deck, so anyone with really big feet that wants to ride park should probably jump on this deck because the waist widths are so wide. Again, true twin, but this is an asymmetrical style board. This is an asymmetrical twin board. So that means that there's one heel side edge and one toe side edge. The heel side edge is really tight and small. The toe side edge is like fairly standard. That allows for the board to actually ride a bit easier on your heel side edge, but it's not an aggressive, really aggressive board. I'd say it's probably like right in the middle, maybe just a little bit softer. It does feature, of course, impact plates, so it makes it strong. But yeah, this is like one really interesting style board that you can take in a lot of places, but it's kind of, I feel as if it's kind of like a softer helix because of the asymmetrical twin style shape. But yeah, it does feature that hybrid camber profile. So again, you know, lots of camber, a little bit of rocker, both on that nose and the tail. This is the kind of the bonus board, the Twinpig. Easy to manipulate, easy to ride, and it's part of that kind of like that new, you know, kind of like marketing piece, of course, from Ride within the Pig series. So these are my favorite and the best park boards from Ride for the season. We have the Kink, the Machete, the Burnout, and of course the Twinpig as a bonus. You can see all these boards by selecting those links below in the description. If you need a park board for the season, you want a Ride deck, these are the ones that you should probably choose from by selecting those links below in the description. Leave a comment or question. Let us know what you think of what we're doing here at Guff Gear, doing some fun new things, and it's always awesome to have you guys participate in what we do. Leave some comments and questions. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll see you on Snow. Peace.